Now, do you want to be a nomad and just travel the world and not worry about money? Well, I'm going to give you a few practical tips on how I did it and how you can too.
Though you had to leave, part of you still lives with me.
Now, of course, the obvious thing you're going to need is money, moolah, dinero, drachmas, euros, pesos, whatever you want to call it. And of course, I don't want to oversimplify, but I also want to provide you with realistic advice so that you can actually get her done and do it if you wish. Now, I knew from a very young age that I was a travel junkie, and I probably wanted to retire early. So I made sure that I only worked for employers that would give me a pension. Something to think about, you young millennials, people in your 30s, 20s, whatever. Now, that takes time. Now, I know many of you can't just do that, and I could easily say, well, save up $500,000 and throw it in an annuity, and it'll give you a tiny pension that'll at least support you while you're on the road. That's not realistic, obviously, but you need to put a target date on when you want to pull a plug and go nomad and travel. And here's the good part. You can actually make money while you're traveling. And I'm going to talk about that. So what you want to do is you want to establish a date, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, where you're going to actually pull a plug and say, I'm going to travel the world in my RV, my Winnebago, I'm going to fly to France, do whatever the hell you want. Because for me in the last 15 months, I've been to Germany, France, Alaska, up and down the West Coast, at least 5 or 6 states, and Maui. Hey, that's just what I like to do. And part of the planning isn't really just money. What you want to do is you want to avoid building your family more. If you already got kids, don't have any more. If you don't have kids, please, you're not going to be able to travel if you start getting people pregnant or you start getting pregnant yourself. And that goes for buying a new car. Don't run out and sign that note for a new $40,000 car when you know you're going to pull a plug in 2 or 3 years, unless you already got that money. It's not realistic. Even me, for things like that, I've avoided buying new cars for years. I've avoided signing contracts for my cell phone because I didn't want to get locked in and obligated to pay for things I didn't want to. So now that you got your family planning and your debts under control, so to speak, you want to start thinking about money that will follow you. Now, as I mentioned, yes, you could get a pension, but that's not realistic for everybody because that takes a lot of time. But what you can do is, like what I'm doing. There is no reason in the world why you can't make an extra $4,000 to $10,000 extra a year, depending on your traffic, doing that. And, the more controversial you get, I probably could make even more if I started talking about religion and politics, which I rarely even mention. But go crazy, go wild, paint your hair purple and do crazy videos from Kalamazoo. I love talking to Kalamazoo. I love throwing that out because I've been to Kalamazoo. I actually like that place. A little cold in the winter, but you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, and I sell production stock video that I shoot on cameras and license it, and it goes into commercials. You can do that on the road. Now, it doesn't all have to be digital media, but digital media is just easy for someone like me because that's where my skill set lies. But you could be a guy that fixes windshields. Everybody's got cracks in the windshield. Hey, I'll gladly pay you $40 to put some goop on my window and fix a crack. You could do some plumbing work along the road. You could do auto mechanic, fix people's RVs. RV tech people are expensive. And hey, if you're at an RV park and I run into you and I need some work done, rather than paying the dealer, $100 an hour, gladly pay you $45 an hour. And I'm sure you'd be happy with it, It's all cash money. So build a skill set that you can sell on the road so that either you're making money while you're sleeping or you're making it when you're arriving, wherever you're going, because people have needs that need to be met on the road, wherever you happen to be. And for God's sakes, avoid get-rich-quick schemes when you're trying to save up to go on the big road trip of your life and go nomad, because the last thing I want to see anybody do is save up a bunch of money and just lose it all and have their dreams go up in smoke. So I'm always skeptical. If something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So be careful with your money out there. And, of course, as always, be safe out there. Take care of each other. And